This is Glenda, and today I'm going to be using for the first time this mold and its liner. The liner is from Nurture Soap, and the mold is just pretty much cardboard that I made, and I cut it and I just put this tape on the edges to keep it from getting dirty. And the way it will work is that after I fill it, I'm going to tape it to keep it secure, but I don't need it now. Now something different that I'm doing this time is that I'm using goat's milk that is frozen instead of my water, distilled water. So I'm going to weigh that and add the lye to it. I'm going to add the lye slowly, and it's going to start melting the milk. I'm going to stir it. It's difficult at first when most of the milk is still frozen, but as I go along, it's going to get this slushy consistency as the heat of the lye combined with the liquid in the milk melts it. So I'm going to set it aside. I can feel that the container is warming up some, so that residual heat is gonna melt the rest of the frozen milk. But I'm gonna go back to the light water and see. Yeah, it does look like it's dissolved. Now this white stuff is what, it's something, I think maybe it could be the milk fats, I'm not sure, but I've noticed it before, and it's best to strain it. Now I'm going to take my temperatures just to make sure I'm okay. The oils are at 107, 105, and the light water it's at 108, 109. So I'm going to show you now the design that I have in mind and that I have sketched for this. Hopefully I can get somewhere close to it. I'm actually really excited about it. But I'm going to start now by adding the lye and milk solution to the oils. Alright, so I'm almost done straining this. It's taking longer than I wanted it to. Last time I did goat milk soap, I don't remember doing this, but after reading about it and just going through the experience, I think I prefer to have it strained. I don't think you have to though. Don't take my word for it. Alright, it looks like it's emulsified, so I'm going to add the fragrance at this point, and then I'm going to blend it some more to incorporate the fragrance. Let's see, hopefully this doesn't fall. I think it will fall. So we're gonna put it there. And the fragrance that I'm using is coconut water and pineapple. This is a 4-ounce bottle, and I have about 4 pounds of oils, so I'm using the entire bottle. It smells good, it smells sweet. It's supposed to be 0% as far as vanilla content, so it shouldn't discolor. And that smells like a pineapple drink, so that's good. And the only things, or I guess the notes that they made for this fragrance in the supplier website was that it may separate a little, and that it may discolor to yellow or tan, which is what most color discolor. I mean, what most soap discolors to a tan or yellow. So that doesn't bother me. I have the fragrance mix, and I can see that it's already come to a thin trace. It's thickened up a little bit. So I'm going to split it. Let's see. I'll probably use this container where I have the lime water. Some of it is gonna be the water, so it's gonna be like a teal color, and then the rest is gonna be like the sand. So it's gonna be about the same, maybe more sand than the other color, or about the same, who knows. So for the teal, I'm using this color. I don't recall the name, but it's from Northshore Soaps. And I'm going to use probably a teaspoon. So this I'm going to add directly to it. And I think I'm going to try 3/4 of a teaspoon, because this is a 1/4 teaspoon, so I did it 3 times. And then for the sand portion, I'm going to use a little bit of yellow oxide, just a tiny bit, and I will disperse it in water. I think I'm going to use the container where I measured the line, since I'm going to have to wash it anyway. So I'm only going to use 1/4 teaspoon, and then I'm going to add some water, distilled water, just a little bit. And actually, I forgot. Yeah, that's fine. I will mix some of this. I'm gonna split it for a lighter color. Alright. So first I'm gonna mix this yellow. I'm hoping for just a light yellow. Okay, this is looking very green. It's looking like the same color of the container, like a teal. So I'm going to add more. However, as much as I remember, I'm going to add some, what do you call this? This is a clay, white kaolin clay, I think it's called. And I'm going to use about a half a teaspoon, but a little bit more. And I'm going to mix this with water. Just for a lighter accent color. I don't need a whole lot of this. So I'm going to put some of the mix in here. I think that should be enough. Okay, now as far as the teal, I do one more teal there. So I'm going to add some more. So first I'm going to add the yellow, which is going to be the sand, and I also have some additives though, that the majority is going to be on the top, but I do want some in the body, and this is orange peel granules. This I got as a gift from a friend, some friends, and I think they bought it at Hobby Lobby, but I did buy some more from another supplier. So I'm just going to add a little bit to the yellow. Okay, I think I'm done with that. Now, because this is going to be a body bar, I'm okay with putting this as somewhat of an exfoliant. But if I was, this wouldn't be recommended if you were doing a facial bar, for example. And I thought about doing this soap earlier, actually, when summer was starting, but I had some other soap ideas. Some of the clay fell on the mold, so I'm trying to remove it, but it's not a big deal because all the soap will stick to it anyway. Before I pour it, I'm going to tap it to remove some of the air bubbles. So I'm just pouring it all even. And hopefully I have enough of it. I am going to tilt it because I want some of it to be on the top, not just the bottom. I'll use this. And I'll keep pouring. So I was gonna do this earlier in the summer, and then I didn't get around it. So I figure I needed to get to it before the summer ended. Where I am, it's still summer. The temperature yesterday was like 90 something. I'm going to save some of this for the taupe because I don't think I'm going to have enough. It looks like I have more ocean than sand. But if I save some, I can put it on top to do what I want to do. So yesterday the temperature was in the 90s, so feels like summer, so it must be summer. And officially in the calendar, fall is not going to be until later in September, even though stores are already coming out with pumpkin this and pumpkin that, everything pumpkin. Okay, so I'm gonna let it stay at an angle. Then I'm going to add the teal. Well, my teal is getting thick, so I probably should get to it now. And I don't want it to break into the other one, so I'm gonna drop it slowly and close to the surface. But it's quite thick, so it's not like really breaking too much into it anyway. Alright, I can see some of the rising that they talked about. That's the, I'm guessing, the separation. So I'm going to stir it. And that should seem to have done the trick. If it hadn't, then I would have still blended it some more. I'm going to add some of the lighter teal, the one that I added the kaolin clay to, and I'm just going to add it as a line. And I definitely have more water than sand. See, I have only very little for the very top. So I'm going to just keep filling it in with lighter color, which this is going to be kind of like the foam that the waves create when they approach the beach. Instead of the sand over here. and I do like it. I mean, if the teal does become better, I'm gonna like it better. But it's so far, I think I'm close to the design. And if not, oh well. Still gonna be a good soap, I hope. So I wonder what the weather is like in different places. If you already have fall-like weather and you're in the States, let me know. Or if you are in a different continent or country. Because I know, for example, South America, they have reverse weather. When it's cold in North America and it's winter, they have their summer. So maybe I am on time for those countries. So if you live in one of those, would you let me know? I'll be curious to read about it. Okay, I'm almost done with the yellow, which hopefully will turn into a light beige for a nice beach location. Well, hopefully that took care of any bubbles that may have formed. I just have a little bit of the lighter teal left. So I'm going to try to do just very light swirl just to mix this side of the mold in. I really don't have no rhyme or reason as to how I'm doing it. I don't want to distort the yellow side, so I'm staying very close to the surface. And also because I put the white one underneath kind of late into it. And so I don't even have high expectations of moving it. I just don't want to get the sand portion disturbed. Okay, look, if I do this, it sort of looks like when the wave comes back, that texture that it does. So maybe that'll work out there too. Okay. Get that out of the way. So now I'm going to let it set for a little bit so that I can add the embeds and they don't sink. In the meantime though, I'm going to add some more of the orange peel on top to give it that sandy look. And this is so light that I know it's not going to sink, so I can add it at this point and it'll be fine. And I'm going to say that I do like how this fragrance smells. Hopefully it does stay. And if it does, once I allow myself to buy fragrance again, I will buy a bigger bottle. But right now I have so much fragrance that I really shouldn't consider buying anything else unless I make a big dent on my stash. I also have some sea salt, coarse sea salt, that I want to add on the portion of the water. I don't remember what it looked like. Oh, okay. It's not the stone type, it's more like just thicker, the kind that you see on pretzels. So I thought that I should add some kind of some of the mica on top so that it adds some sort of refraction the way water does. And so I'm going to put some Super Sparkles and Viral Glitter on it. A little bit of this goes a long way, so I'm going to be careful as to how much I actually put. Like you can see, it's already flying up in the sky. Okay, so I'm just dusting it lightly, not much. Okay, that should be plenty. And I also thought about putting some of the actual mica that gave color to the teal on it. That's always tricky to add. I think I have an idea. Let me see. I'm going to use the brush, and with the brush I'm going to tap it. That seems to work better. Alright, so I finished wiping down most of the containers, and I ended up adding some more soap butter over here that was in one of the containers. So what I figured that I'm going to try to do, if I can find it now. Let me see, what did I do with it? Okay, well, I'll use the spoon. That should work. I've seen some people do like waves, and I'm going to attempt to do that. I don't know if that is too hard or too soft, but it was something like this. So one side was lifted. Okay, that might work. So it looks like somebody is surfing there. So I'm gonna do the same here. Just curved it in like an inward curve motion. And then on the top, just comb it forward. I seem to have undone this. Let me come back. Alright. So that should do it, hopefully. And now I'm just going to add the rest of the embeds. So this is the final soap, and I did try to put as many of the embeds that I had, because I don't like having leftover ones just hanging by themselves alone waiting for a project. And so that one actually got 2 pineapples, and that one is supposed to be a treasure chest, in case you're wondering. So is that one. I did make tiny coconuts for the ones with the palm trees, and then bigger coconuts for the ones that don't have a palm tree to compare size with. But I'm going to let it rest overnight. I'm going to put some books on the side or something heavy to keep that center from bowing like it is doing right now. So if I press it, it should be fine. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, and I'll show you what it looks like when I cut it. Alright, so it has been 24 hours, and the soap is cold because I had it on the fridge. I put it in the fridge, I think about an hour after I've made it, because I came back to check on it and I noticed it was getting warm, like it was gelling. And since I had put milk instead of water, I didn't want the milk to scorch. So I popped it in there, and it's been in the fridge since then, so I guess about 24 hours. And it does seem, in the morning it was still soft when I checked on it, but now it seems to be ready to be unmolded. I've never unmolded it out of this liner. It's my first time using this liner. I've never had a liner this long, so it's kind of tricky. But it does seem to be releasing well. I think I'm going to stand it up and try to push the liner, just make it release the seal. So I'm just gonna eyeball it. First one. It's actually hard. It's like this. It's crumbling actually. Maybe I waited too long to cut it, or maybe I need to wait for this to come to room temperature. See, I have crumbs on here. That's not good. But what if I wait longer and it's worse? Let me try one in the middle. See what it goes like. Oh no, I broke the palm tree. So it looks like the yellow part is definitely very crumbly. I'm going to wait for this to come to room temperature. It could be that it's the cold what's causing this. I'm not sure. So it looks like the problem that I was having yesterday with the crumbling was due to it being out of the fridge. And it had been in the fridge for 24 hours or so, and it was cold. So I actually did look it up too in some Facebook groups I belong to, and I read that could be a cause. So I left it be last night, and I let it, I guess, come to room temperature overnight. So today's the next morning, and yes, it's not having that crumbling issue that I was having yesterday.